Alright, in the last lesson we got familiar with our user interface once we launched Publisher. And if you recall, when we first launched the application, we saw a Getting Started screen. Well, now we're going to talk about how you create a new publication. And there's two things you can do. You can create a new publication that's based on a template, and there's lots to choose from in Publisher. Or you can create a new blank document and work from scratch if that's your preference. So we're going to talk about both methods. So the question then is, if we want to work from one of those templates, how do we get that Getting Started screen back? Well, we could close down Publisher and launch it again and we'd see it. Or, even better, we'll go up to the File menu up here, click File, and select New, the very first option on the File menu. Notice that Control-N on the keyboard is the shortcut to bring up this screen. And there it is. We've got our Getting Started with Microsoft Office Publisher 2007 screen back. And you can see over here on the left-hand side, we've got all of our publication types to choose from. And you'll notice over here in the center section that some of those publication types are shown here as thumbnails. These are the popular publication types. So brochures and business cards and calendars are popular, as are the rest of these. To see more information over on the right-hand side here for any one of these categories, we just simply click on it. So if we wanted to create a flyer, we click on Flyer. And now you can see that under Newer Designs, we've got a whole bunch of samples to choose from. These are templates that are flyers. So there's many different kinds of flyers we can create, and they're all named, and they're listed alphabetically. So you can see here we've got Photoscope. Here we've got Simple Divider, Tabs, Modular, and so on. So if I kind of like the looks of this one, Photoscope over here, I click on it, and look what happens over on the right-hand side here. I get a thumbnail preview of it. And of course, I'm going to add my own text and my own pictures, but I get a feel for the layout. If I like that layout, I just simply come down to the bottom and I click Create. Now, if I wanted to, I could customize this before I click Create. For example, if I wanted to change the color scheme, I could do that. Clicking the Color Scheme drop down. Select from a different color scheme, and you can see how things have changed here on the preview thumbnail. Also, font schemes can be changed if I prefer some of these other font schemes. For example, this is going to be a very informal, funny one. I'm going to use Comic. And you can see that things change here again in my preview. Business information we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but we can create our own business information so that it'll pre-populate the flyer in those areas where business information should show up. Other options include whether or not we want to put a mailing address on there, include a graphic. Right now we have one, but if we don't want one, we just deselect that checkbox, and you can see we just got even more space here for text. So it's totally up to you. Once you've got all of your options set up, you just simply come down here and click Create. Now you're not done, obviously. There's going to be content that needs to be added here, but the layout part is done for the most part. So we've created a new publication that is a flyer based on some choices we made in the various categories and templates. Now if you wanted to create a new document, a new publication that's blank, well, you can go up to your New button here on the standard toolbar and give it a click. And right away you can see I've just got the defaults right now, which is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It's blank, there's nothing on it, but I do have my task pane here where I can start working with page options, color schemes, and so on. And then I've also got my objects toolbar, sometimes called the toolbox over here, where we can start adding the various objects to our publication. So if you prefer to start from scratch with a blank canvas, remember you've got the New button right here. If you prefer to choose from templates, go up to the File menu and select New from there. If the Getting Started screen is not showing up on your screen, in other words, if you haven't just launched the application, you may want to get that back. So keep in mind those two options for creating new publications in Publisher 2007.